This weekend, Liverpool enhanced their title credentials with a 2-0 win against AFC Bournemouth, but it was a match which wasn't without its talking points. The dust has settled now, though. We've all chilled out and we've got the benefit of multiple TV angles to pore over. So, were we robbed? Is VAR accurate? And was the referee as brilliant as all the others that we've had this season? They get paid for that, by the way. Either way. Tom, Bournemouth, we gave it a bloody good go, but ultimately, so-called dodgy decisions aside, sometimes it takes a moment of brilliance to decide a football game, and Salah certainly did that. But I think our main talking points as Cherries is just the annoyance at officials yet again.
Yeah, of course, mate. Yeah, and I'm sure we'll delve into it. But yeah, it was... take that aside, which is obviously difficult to do, but when you do that, I think we competed really, really well in the game. I think probably had the clearer chances, actually. We hit the woodwork a few times, we played really well, but the difference was probably equally. I thought that their centre-halves are bloody good, so they're hard to get good chances against, which was impressed that we did have some clear ones, but also that little bit of quality, mate. It's 1-0, the game's on a knife edge, we've got some good chances, you feel like we're the only team that's going to score potentially, and then Mo Salah pops up with a bit of brilliance, as you say, and that's why they're where they are in the league. And we're not saying that the officials made us lose the football match, but it can still be an annoyance and still piss me off. But yeah, they're going to win the league, and that's why. That's why the difference in quality, and Mo Salah in particular.
And when Salah hit the back of the net, there were scenes in the away end, in the North Stand, in the main stand, and in the Ted McDougall stand. My God, how many Liverpool supporters were sat around you? Probably not as bad in the North Stand, but certainly in the Ted McDougall, where you've obviously got the King's Plaza offering. Steve Hensman was so annoyed because he was surrounded by them, and I think he got into, not fisticuffs, but verbal fisticuffs with one of them that then walked off. That's annoying. Why?
Yeah, it is really annoying.
Because it's Liverpool.
Yeah, it's because Liverpool. But there's obviously people that are, there's Bournemouth fans that must be getting Liverpool fans tickets, I assume.
Either that, or there are Liverpool fans on the AFCB database because they turned up to a friendly. There's no due diligence with regards to that.
Yeah.
But it's just frustrating that somehow they've managed to get the tickets ahead of those that have got more points, obviously. Yeah. Or there have been some dodgy dealings going on. Or, of course, they've played for the upgraded hospitality option of having unlimited hot dogs and whatever for 90 minutes. Yeah,
for sure. You'd like to think there's something going on with, when it's pointed out or when it's quite evident that they're from the other side, that, you just check the seat, check who's bought the ticket, and
that's all they need to do. So hopefully people noted that kind of stuff down. And by the way, I was sat right next to a guy. I didn't get him on the vlog, or tried not to, but he was constantly on his phone checking the live scores of Leeds United. And he was on the Leeds United BBC page all game. Like, what? Why are you even there?
Unless because they won 7-0, didn't they? Leeds, I think they won 7-0.
Did they? So
I wonder if he might have had a bet, like score more than 5. He might have just been checking. It could be something like that.
Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Though he was checking out all of their stories over the last month when I was glancing. But look, I can understand why there would have been Liverpool fans wanting to see their team, because it's the first time that many of them could see a league title in the flesh since you were born, actually, mate. I think 1989-90 was the last time they won a league title that everyone could see, of course. But it is just frustrating when we're trying to create an atmosphere, which I thought was good again, by the way. It was very good against Forest. It was good against Liverpool. But when you've got Liverpool fans scattered around the home supporters, that does make it annoying. But look, on the pitch, 3 points to Liverpool. And they, in truth, probably shaded it. The XG stats show that, but we gave them one hell of a game, I've got to say. But there is a bigger issue at play here, Tom. And this, please don't, Liverpool fans, confuse what we're about to say with sour grapes, because it's not, okay? It's you probably deserve to win the football match. That's absolutely fine. But the officiating, for us, and in the Premier League, it's getting worse, and it is scary, man.
Yeah, it is scary, yeah. And obviously, you can look back to that Newcastle game with a Dango goal, and it's just, it just continually happening. As I say, you can look at moments which, a lot of people are saying, well, the big moments, because certain angles, you could argue that it is a penalty, fine. I don't think it is, but if you think it is, fine. And McAllister shouldn't have been sent off. I think he should have, but fine. And the offside, even though they can't draw a straight line, is offside. I appreciate that. Yeah. But if you weren't at the game, then you don't understand, because if you were at the game, it wasn't that. It was every single decision. Every single decision seemed to go their way. And honestly, if you believe that penalty would have been given for Bournemouth at Anfield, then I can't have a debate with you, because you know it wouldn't. Everyone knows we would not have got that decision. And I remember you were saying then about kind of, Liverpool fans and stuff. I actually met a group of Liverpool fans before the game. They're a lovely bunch. And they said how difficult it is. They're on the top points, but at Bournemouth, and the only one they're struggling with as much is Plymouth in the Cup coming up. They're struggling to get tickets, but they were great. But then we were sort of reminiscing different games that we've had at Anfield, because we never won there, but we've got a point, blah, blah, blah. And we went, I remember the first time I went there, that was when we scored a goal that got disallowed and shouldn't have, and then you won it for an offside goal that then the rule was changed because of it. And you just it never changes. And that's not Liverpool's fault. It's just a subconscious with officials, in my opinion. I don't understand the amount of decisions in that game, mate, that just... And like you say, a lot of people say they're not the big decisions, but they might have been. You can't tell me when Dango clearly wins the ball back and we're running through that we don't score. You don't know.
No,
we don't know. You can't tell me that if McAllister gets sent off, which he should have, that we end up scoring a goal. You don't know.
It just seems to be that every 50-50 did seem to go their way. Now, just for context, it's worth adding that was Darren England's first time officiating a Liverpool game in 16 months. He was previously barred from Liverpool fixtures after that major VAR error. That was in the clash with Spurs, wasn't it? September 2023, Luis Diaz went through, scored, legitimate goal, was wrongly disallowed.
So then they thought, I'll tell you what we'll do is we've got to get him doing a Liverpool game at some point, because they can't just remove him for all Liverpool games. We'll do it against little Bournemouth, that'd be fine.
But okay,
he wouldn't have been reffing another big game, would he?
No,
he wouldn't have been reffing Liverpool, Man United.
No, exactly. Okay, so surely the Dango goal for us against Newcastle last minute, which I think Howard Webb came out on various Premier League channels, and it was spoke about on Sky Sports, MNF and all this kind of stuff. I think it was in universal agreement that the goal should have been allowed. So the person on VAR, I presume, didn't referee a Bournemouth game either in the flesh or VAR. That doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Are they kept away from Bournemouth games? No, they're not. So where's the consistency in that? So it seemed to be, from me, to the naked eye, that he was almost keen to make amends.
Well, I always get this, people that, and fair enough, especially if you know someone or you are a lower league ref and stuff, defending and, saying, and the thing you always get, which I totally agree with, but the point you always get is they're human, don't you? You always get that. You always get they're human, which obviously they are, I think. No, they are human. So you always get, but they are human. They make mistakes, but they are human. Well, if you're a human, you would subconsciously be going more for Liverpool when it's the first Liverpool game you're doing since you cost Liverpool, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So if they're human, then that proves my point in this game, in my opinion. Totally. But I can't get my head around it, man. I've never seen people act like they're volunteers. They get paid a hell of a lot of money to ref in the best league in the world. They're very fortunate to do that job. They have an absolute stinker, and they could just laugh about it after the game. It's not going to do anything. They'll be refereed again the week after.
Yeah, there'll be David Coote laughing about it on WhatsApp. And you know what? That's one of the clips that somehow managed to come out and lose his job. I guarantee there are conversations like that go on every weekend.
Yeah.
With Premier League refs. And there's a clip going around on WhatsApp that you sent to me, which I didn't see until today, by the way. And I can't post it here because it's got Premier League highlights in. We can't put it on social media either, because I've seen accounts closed down for posting that kind of content. But oh my God, I watched that. It's like a 2-3 minute compilation. If you're a Bournemouth fan, you've probably seen it on the groups and stuff. And there are a series of just incidents within the game where you're looking at it thinking, what the hell? The McAllister potential second yellow was one of them.
Yeah, it's definitely
We'll talk about that. A Virgil van Dijk foul on Dango Ouattara, which was a horrendous foul played on. Dango winning the ball back off Curtis Jones to set us on the counter-attack, like you just mentioned just then.
The ref waited ages.
Yeah, he waited, and then when he saw that it was in a situation where we could benefit, that's when the whistle blew.
Yeah.
It's so tough, because I do agree that in football things are going soft, but it seemed to be Darren England almost harked back to the 70s with the way that he was letting some of the decisions just carry on without blowing his whistle. But it did seem to be, and maybe it's coincidental, that Liverpool were the team to benefit. There was every single time.
There was one point in the game, I can't remember, it was down for us, and just played on, which was fine. It wasn't a head injury, played on, and then a Liverpool player went down, clearly not a head injury. We got the ball back and he just stopped it.
I don't understand.
I was absolutely, and things like the Trent handball, for example, one you mentioned there. I personally don't want that to be a handball because I played football enough. It's not a handball. Yeah. It's difficult. You can't just keep your arms by your side. But I also know what decisions have been given as handball.
Yeah.
So there is zero consistency at all.
No.
And I can't help. I don't believe I'm a conspiracy theorist, David Icke nutjob, but I honestly believe that if that's Lewis Cook, and he does that exact same motion as Trent at Anfield, it's a penalty. And do you remember the Joe Rothwell one?
Yeah.
On Szoboszlai, never a penalty in a million years. They got it at Anfield.
So consistency is the key here more than anything. It's not necessarily on that individual match. It's when you compare some of the decisions to. Where's the solution? Because to me, it's clear that the refs have got almost too much to think of. Because, for instance, that free kick at Chelsea. The referee is looking at all sorts of things. He's looking at all the activity in the box. Yeah. There's lots of melees, lots of pushing and shoving. And, another thing to chuck into the mix is got to think about the fact that the opposing players, or the Chelsea players at the time, because it was their free kick, we had a wall of 3 people.
Yeah,
they had a man that was less than a metre away, which means that the free kick shouldn't be allowed to be taken because he's interfering with the wall.
Yeah, what we could do with, because that's a lot for the ref to think about, and I don't expect him to see that he's not a metre away. So what we could do with is some sort of system where someone can check it on multiple cameras and let him know.
Are you saying that, so the VAR or the video referees, whatever you want to call them, do you think they need to have more responsibility to take it away from the ref? Because it seems they can get involved with the very basics.
Surely the Chelsea one, that was just, I wasn't even aware until afterwards, but that's obviously a law that they can't be doing that to the ball. So that's a clear law of the game, so surely you should tell the ref that shouldn't count. Yeah. Whereas Dango Watara against Newcastle, they got involved with when they shouldn't have. Why do they get involved in that?
Should there be a VAR?
That's not a clear lawyer's error, was it?
Should there be a VAR consistency panel?
No, they should off. It's not fit for purpose. It just gets involved when it wants, and then it doesn't get involved, and it is just ridiculous.
But the thing is, we'll still have these issues without VAR, because you'll have one ref doing one thing and one ref doing another. So what they're trying to do is give the refs the power, aren't they? And they are there to then clear up any subjective decisions, and only if it's a clear and obvious error. And we've seen that. I think Match of the Day said this, that if the ref hadn't given the penalty, it probably wouldn't have been overturned.
Yeah, which I can't get my head around. It's not right or wrong.
Surely it's just a case of, is it a pen or is it not a pen? That's it.
Yeah, I get that side of it, like the power, but like I say, it all goes out the window when I think, well, why do they get involved in Watara's then?
Yeah,
because that's not giving the ref power. He made the right call. He gave the goal.
Yeah.
So there's just no consistency at all, mate. I just don't really. I was watching. I think I said to you, I was watching the Arsenal Man City game. It was a good game, and you're watching that, and there was just something there that there was one where I can't remember which Arsenal player was on the floor, and Bernardo Silva just kicked him off the ball. Just let it go, whatever. And then there was another one where I think it was Savinho, I want to say, the Man City player, went right up to the ref and went like that, which Iraola's been done for. Because we all know, it's an obvious thing now that everyone's aware. If you do that with the card waving, you're automatically booked. Yeah. He done it, didn't get a card. Okay, well, why not? Yeah. Just decided not to this time. I don't understand. I really don't understand. It is frustrating because, in general, you want to say Liverpool have got the quality, they're top of the league for a reason, but bloody hell did the boys give a good shift again. It was really positive. And I was actually on the display more positive than before the game in terms of Europe and all these different things we're talking about, because I think they are the best. They are the best. They haven't really got any injuries apart from kind of backup players. We're, decimated with injuries, and we played that well again that it made me really positive in terms of us, but we're not really talking about it because of that frustration.
No,
and
that's a shame.
Yeah, it is a shame.
If video technology is there to help the referees out, I think we need to take the pressure off the referees and actually use the video technology and still not give the ref the power, because what's the point? I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me that we're still having these conversations, more conversations, even after the video technology is utilised. But look, let's be cold, hard and clinical now, Tom.
Yes.
And show the league table, and it still looks pretty good for AFC Bournemouth. By the way, fair play to Forest.
Mate,
that was a reaction.
That is a reaction. How have they gone from losing 5-0 to Bournemouth to having a positive goal difference on swing? Was it? I think it was City and Forest, and now level on goal difference.
Yeah.
I did not expect an 11-goal swing from Forest, Brighton, and Man City, Arsenal. Unbelievable. But honestly, now I've kind of got to that stage. Obviously, we're competing with them. We're still way off Forest, 7 points.
Yeah.
Bloody good job we beat them, by the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am kind of at a stage now. I don't know if it's not Liverpool's fault, but because of some of them decisions, like we said in the game, it's making me think, go on, Forest, because I want someone to upset the apple cart a little bit. So I'm kind of all for. I mean, the performance was incredible. I mean, I always think Brighton are so efficient, and they just out of nowhere, you don't really notice Brighton, and they're always bloody hell, they're up there again. And to beat them 7-0, they were so clinical. Fair play to them. And it also made our result look even better, by the way. I would say, but yeah, credit to them and credit to the Scummers. They got a win. They won a football match, which moves them from 20th to 20th, and are they bottom of the baseline still? Yeah, it was only Ipswich on that.
But who's top?
God, we're back. How have we gone top of the league?
Because us losing at home to a Big Six club don't have any effect. Newcastle losing dropped them 3 points. So we're top of the league, top of the baseline tracker. Forest up there as well.
Tell you what, Palace, by the way, because they won at United.
They did, yeah.
They're slowly doing something.
Yeah.
Palace. They're slowly coming, I think. Watch them, and I think they're starting to look good now. And that is the thought I was going to mention it about Iraola, like on a wider thing. There was a point where people were going, is Glasner going to...
Yeah.
And they've stuck with him, haven't they?
Yeah.
And fair play, because they look really good at the moment.
Yeah. Okay, on to the teams then. 1:45 we saw the teams. And Tom, you are really surprised to see both lineups, weren't you? Because in the preview...
Yeah. I got 22 out of 22, yeah.
For the second game in a row.
44 out of 44. Well, I mean, granted, it's easier with Bournemouth at the moment because it has to be that 11. There's probably a case now, I would say, growing for Tav because he looks fresh, but he has made good impacts off the bench. But apart from that, we've got no one that can play, that can start. For them, as I say, with the way they did it in the week in Europe, I was kind of expecting at this side. I didn't expect Jota to be back fit for the bench. But yeah, apart from maybe, as I was chatting to my Liverpool mate and he said about Simicast, because Robertson's not playing well, but I thought, they'll stick with him. So yeah, got theirs right as well, mate. So yeah, there was no real surprises, was there? No,
there wasn't. So look, 3:00 came and... we were all surprised, really, that we said this on the preview. If Sky had the chance to change the kickoff time for this, they absolutely would have. And I think most Liverpool fans agreed that this was going to be a tough game. And a lot of them were getting a bit narky in our preview about how we framed it. I think we used the word nervy on the thumbnail, and then they were replying. And
they would have rested players anyway.
Yeah, there was a little bit of beef from them with us, which maybe showed that they were riled. But either way, we took the game to them. I thought it was a bit of a more cautious approach from us, which obviously makes sense when you see the kind of power they have, especially on the transition. The counter-attacks are so quick. But we put a cat amongst the pigeons. I think Kluivert had a shot from a very, very tight angle, which Alisson saved. And then Antoine Semenyo, out of nowhere, hits the post. The power of Antoine.
That's so Semenyo, isn't it?
So Semenyo.
I don't know if you agree. During the game, I thought everyone for us played pretty well, but no one obviously stood out. But it's weird when you watch highlights back and match of the day and things like that. Semenyo always looks incredible.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
But maybe we've just raised the bar too high because I didn't think he was incredible. I thought he played like he normally does.
Yeah,
but
right.
Again, he looks like the one, doesn't he? But we did say in the preview, I did wonder if maybe Semenyo against Trent could be our best shout. And yeah, he feigned one way and the other like he always does, but he just goes for power.
He does. It was funny because Kluivert fed him and it looked like he even ran out of time, but then he just stretched for the ball, still managed to maintain control of it and then work it onto his left. And whether the angle was there, no, but it seemed to be because it not only hit the post, it hit the inside of the post as well. So what an effort that was. And I mean, the noise from being in the Ted Mac, I mean, that bar was still vibrating like minutes later. But, Liverpool did have a few chances. Subslime went in almost one-on-one on goal, but quick, incisive break from Liverpool, but good save from Kepner on the angle as well. And then came the moment that... I don't want to say decided the football match, but it set a precedent, I think. So Kluivert was fouled in the Liverpool half. And even the commentator said Kluivert is the latest not to get a free kick. And then the move that follows leads to the penalty. So ball over the top, Gakpo running through, Lewis Cook apparently making contact, Gakpo going down. let's break it down into the Cliver incident first, because that looked like a free kick to me.
Yeah, I thought it was a free kick, definitely. Yeah, it didn't surprise me we didn't get it, but yeah, I did think that was a free kick. There was definitely more contact in that than there was from Cook on Gakpo, put it that way. I don't. And again, there's no way, because it's so hard to see if there's a clip, to be honest. So that means there's no way that the ref thinks that's a clear penalty. So why is he giving it? Well, because they'll tell him if it's a clear and obvious error.
There's a lot of lip-reading experts from Merseyside that looked at a clip of Lewis Cook afterwards, who apparently said it was a foul. And it's so bizarre because there's an angle from behind him, so filmed from the TED map, where you can see both players running away from the camera. And there's a close-up, I think it's of the beIN Sports coverage with like Andy Gray or someone like on a big screen just analysing it, seeing when Lewis Cook's foot moves, then Gakpo's foot moves as well. But then he's ahead of Lewis. So it is possible for two things not touching to have to move at the same time. So that I don't actually think is that conclusive, because you don't actually know if there's contact. Just because it moves at the same time, it doesn't necessarily mean that Lewis Cook's leg touches the foot. But either way, he goes down, he trips himself up, but this is exactly the same as what happened with Evan Nilsson at Brentford. Exactly the same.
We obviously didn't get it.
So if consistency is to be used, either both are a penalty or both are not a penalty.
Yeah.
But Bournemouth got to get a penalty given against them once, but didn't earn one another time.
And I don't, the way you just spoke about it then, explaining what people are saying about, his foot and that foot. It's not science, it's a fucking sport. If you're talking about it that much, it's obviously not clear. Just don't give it. We move on. Do you know what I mean? Why? Baffling. And this thing about the lip reading, no one knows what's being said to him, by the way. There's I can't remember it is, a Bournemouth player that you just see the back. Yeah. He could have gone, I swear there was a foul in the build-up. Yeah. And Lewis goes, yeah, there was a foul. That's what they're checking. We don't know what the context is. It's
they're
just
also
so weird.
Looking at the reactions of the Bournemouth players, apparently we didn't look as though we were kicking off much about it, but it could also be the resignation.
Yeah.
We're playing Liverpool, Yeah,
we ain't getting this.
It's going to happen.
I thought it was harsh. I thought it was very, very harsh to give a penalty for that. And as I say, my clearer point is, do we get that at the other end? No, we don't. We all know that. So it's frustrating. And then I suddenly went, hang on, Salah's missed a pen against us before, and started having a little bit of a good pen, by the way. Because
it was a good pen.
Kepa, that was a prime example of why, because people quite often say, God, keepers dive so early for penalties. That's why, because he doesn't.
Yeah.
Because he's trying to work and he can't get to it because it's too quick.
The way Salah takes his penalties is really interesting, because he stands like almost perpendicular to the ball, like straight behind it, and then he angles his run.
Yeah.
And then he approaches the ball, and it was such a good penalty. He took with force. He's, very good penalty taker on occasions. But even the commentator on Match of the Day said, I have to say that decision really surprises me. But Liverpool went in 1-0 up. But we had a chance. We had a chance to level it. And by the way, if people watch the vlog and we're like, where's the David Brooks goal? I know. For some reason, my camera, I don't know what's going on. We're filming on that camera right now. I think it's fucked. I think there's a problem, because I lost like 9 separate videos over a 10-minute spell, and I would have definitely captured it. I'm sure I captured it.
Liverpool games are 9, eh?
Like me and Lucy were watching it afterwards, and I thought it was fine. I put the captions on, I put everything together. I uploaded it quite an early time. 20,000 people have watched it, so thank you. And then she said, Sam, I flag up your errors, because basically on the last vlog, I don't know if you noticed, the Forest one, the disallowed Cliver goal, I put a caption, Ouattara.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did.
Ouattara was just in your head because of the hat-trick. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
He was the one that was offside, but this time I just missed out the Brooks goal completely. However...
mate, and you think how buzzing I would have been? It was the 37th minute. I was just about to go down for a pint, and then I think I saw a goal. Perfect time for me.
No.
Oh, God, but he's offside. We know he's offside. You can quite clearly see he's offside.
However, the lines, though...
But how did they still... How are these...
The lines weren't drawn right.
These people that are getting paid a lot of money, in control of the best league in the world, can't draw a straight fucking line.
Well, what's more annoying is that they actually, put on full kit for this as well. They kit up. They might as well just to turn up in rags, because that's the quality of the decisions that they're making. But it was it was offside.
Shame
Great
as well.
move, though.
A really good move, and it was a shame because Kirkus probably doesn't need to go that quick.
No,
He's just running at full power. It is what it is. But
it takes a touch before it gets to Brooks.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, you can't. When you're Brooks, you just got to finish it. A hell of a finish.
You know what? When the ball
finish.
comes to you like that, it's so easy to sky it.
Yeah.
It really is.
And there's players with a lot of quality that we've got, like Semenyo often. Brooks is very technically. That was a hell of a finish. And listen, I'm sure we'll come on to it, but I think in certain ways, I think Alisson is just another level to any keeper I watch, to be honest, because he's so imposing. He's just fucking brilliant, and he can get near that. So it's a hell of a finish from Brooksy.
It was. So look, we couldn't capture the goal, but there were others that did. And on this occasion, we just want to actually just give a couple of shout outs because we don't often have time to watch much other AFCB content because we're just basically watching ourselves 24/7. However, Katie and Ella for their unfiltered. By the way, give them a subscribe. By the way, they're always at the home match days, and make sure you give them a subscribe. We'd love to get them up to 100. You can see the goal and the celebrations on their channel, but also Colin Byrne as well, who goes with his old man every week as well. Love his channel, and make sure you show them some love by giving a subscribe. So we got some footage of that there. Two excellent AFCB channels there. So yeah, we went in at the break 1-0 down, but there were some positives to take, and there were some positives at the start of the second half as well, where I think we made a few tactical tweaks and we just took the game to them somewhat. And Semenyo had a great chance, where it was some really good play from Brooks, and I love it where it's happened a few times. Happened against Forest last week, where Christie had the ball on the edge, but he plays it into the feet of the striker because he knows he can get it back to have a shot on goal. Brooks did the same. He fed Christie, but this time he turned and slipped Antoine Semenyo in, who all he needed to do was dink it. There might have been even a square pass as well on, but hit it low and hard.
Still a good save, but it's nice. We've done that in a few games now.
Really good
to start so positively in the second half. Really take the game to them, because I think we all knew at half time, if we can get the next goal, we've got to get that next goal. And we started like we wanted it. So yeah, it was a really fast start. And I knew the game was still on. I still fancied us to get something. I did.
Yeah. First time McAllister got a yellow card on 54 minutes. Dango really, really strong, by the way. Won the ball off Diaz, I think, in an identical way to the way he won off Curtis Jones later, by the way, when the referee blew the whistle. But for this occasion, he didn't. Watch the two back, they're exactly the same. McAllister, he couldn't do much, but it was a foul. We were on the counter. His body was in the way. And then 5-6 minutes later, David Brooks on the edge of the box, and McAllister takes a swing, and he basically studs his groin, his inner thigh.
Stonewall yellow.
Is it so he should have been gone?
Stonewall yellow, but the ref knows he's on a yellow.
And Slot knew that because he took McAllister off almost a minute later.
If you ever want to know that was a second yellow, they took McAllister off straight away afterwards. So that's such an indication. But yeah, it's 100% a yellow card to anyone else on the pitch apart from McAllister, Christie and Gravenberch, because they were already on yellows.
So we're looking at the match timeline there. We saw that Ryan Christie got a yellow card early in that half. How many has he got now?
Shit, he did, didn't he?
So I think he's got 8.
No, I think he's got 9 now.
So is that 9 now?
So he's a 1 yellow away from a 2-game ban.
And that counts in the FA Cup as
well, does. Right? So I mean, we're not talking about that game yet, but I wonder if we don't risk him for that, because it would be seemingly a bit more of a pointless game to... It's a shame we didn't kind of work it out, get him to get a few yellows earlier, so Everton was one of the ones he missed. But yeah, he's going to be out at some point, isn't he? Because he's not going to go the whole season without another yellow. And like I said, I think he's either joint top or second for the most yellows in the league. I think it's Lukic at Fulham that's up there as well. So yeah, he does get a lot of yellows. Plus the way he plays, and he does get a lot of yellows.
But between those two McAllister incidents, one of them being a yellow and one not, there was a moment where Howson, you might remember this, he tried and failed to stop a breakaway with a foul, but the advantage was played, and then it developed, but then the referee then came back and booked him. But I think it was in the first half, the exact same thing happened. David Brooks was cleaned out in an effort to stop breakaway, and the ref played the advantage, fair enough. But when it broke down, nothing, no retrospective booking. Really, really, really frustrating for us. And Curtis Jones was the man to come on the pitch at 61. And there were a flurry of substitutions, by the way, in the next 10 minutes as well. Marcus Tavernier coming on for Brooksy. Also Nunes and Bradley coming on for Gakpo and Trent as well.
I'll tell you what, I mean, I thought they looked more solid when Conor Bradley come on. And I know he's a beautiful footballer. Trent is not that good.
Do you know?
Honestly, if he can whip it like Bex. I mean, he's unbelievable technically, but defensively, he's absolutely awful. Yeah. Watching him live as well, I thought, well, he can't be that bad. He's played. Everyone thinks he's like one of the best right backs in world football. He's so bad defensively, and to take him off. I think he actually did get a knock, in fairness. But yeah, they obviously took him off later in the game, and I thought Bradley looked far more solid.
Well, it was one of the, I think it was the Kluivert chance early in the first half that we spoke about, where the ball came over and he just headed it straight up in the air. Like, you
really bad.
You're a defender, but yeah, like every so often, I think people get blinded by these 40-yard passes he makes from one side of the pitch to the other, and it's, that's prime Trent layers, brilliant. And then he does deliver every so often a absolute worldie. But yeah,
I just can't be, if he keeps defending, he just can't be a fullback in my opinion.
Yeah,
unless you're really going to just invert him and not worry about him defensively. I don't know whether he can maybe play in a midfield role. But yeah, I just noticing it live, I just thought, God, he really isn't good defensively. He's all over the place, and that was where we were getting in every time.
Yeah, we spoke about Dango Ouattara going on the break after winning the ball back from Curtis Jones, and then the referee just deciding all of a sudden, we're gonna.
He really lost his head at that one. He walked out the tunnel.
Yeah,
he walked out the tunnel.
Did he? Just
so he didn't have a go at someone else. I think
we did get a booking at one point on the bench. Who was that?
It's probably Pablo on it. It gets booked. That's fine.
Tommy or whatever.
Yeah.
The Trent handball thing we've kind of spoke about. I think, and also it's worth noting that defensive handballs are treated different to attacking handballs. But we kept on trying, and I was really impressed by Tav, by the way, when he came on, because he was in the right back position, like winning the ball back. I think he laid it back to Cook, and as soon as he plays that pass, he absolutely bombs on. Ball finds Kluivert or whatever, holds it up, and then it comes to Tav. And then he cuts in on his left foot, hits the inside of the post, and it's blazed over. That was identical to Adam Smith at Manchester. I can't believe how similar that is.
And it was Tav.
Have you seen the comparisons?
Yes, unbelievable.
On social media. We can't show it, obviously, but my God, man.
It's exactly the same.
Someone said on Twitter, though, that the Kluivert's miss, he would have been offside anyway. Apparently there was a flag. Was that right?
I don't think, when I look at it back, he doesn't look offside.
No, he doesn't.
So that would have been checked.
Yeah.
But at the time, I'm pretty sure, I'm sat right behind that, and I'm pretty sure I looked straight away and the flag was up.
But it would.
And Kluivert wasn't as bothered because he thought, I must have been offside. But if it went in, I don't think it was offside.
No, I don't think it was.
So you were still trying to put it in, of course.
But my God, I mean, when you look at the still of it, like, how did he miss?
Oh, yeah, it still always looks worse.
Those are very difficult, aren't they? Those are really difficult.
It's not. He still should score, but it's not as easy as when you look at the still. It looks outrageous, but it was a great move. And again, Tav, I think I said this a while ago. I said apart from a striker, because we ain't got one, we'd obviously want back. But out of all the players that we weren't sure how long they're going to be out for, I said that out of all of them, I want Tav back because he can play in so many positions, which is so important when you've got so many out. And we saw that in the game. He come on obviously on the right. He's used to playing on the left as well. And then later in the game when he went, stuff it, let's go for it, and put Jebison on, he moved Tav into central midfield.
Yeah.
It's such a great option to have because he can fit in so many positions. He looks like a player that's hungry to get back in the team.
Yeah.
But yeah, it gives us so many options now because if he comes in the game, he can come in the 10, he can come in out wide. So yeah, been really positive couple of cameos from him.
The attacking momentum as we look at it on screen, if you're looking on YouTube, you can see that not as much as Liverpool, not as frequent, but the intensity is shown by the height of each of them, and you can see that in the second half we did have more of that prowess, but we paid the price for the lack of clinicality as Salah scored a worldie, didn't he? I mean, that was really good. A sweeping move from left to right. I think I said on the vlog at the time, it looked like Kirk has slipped. Maybe just a bit of indecision. And Salah, Kirk has maybe paid a little bit too much respect to Salah in a couple of parts of the game where he gave him a little bit too much room. But either way, you cannot do much for a finish like that. It was absolutely sublime. What a finish from that.
It's so bizarre watching. I know I'm not the only one that thinks this. You see it a lot online, but because there's always talk about Salah being one of the Premier League's greatest, which I think statistically clearly is. Yeah. Every time I watch him, I've seen him live a lot of times now, and I always think he doesn't do much, and then he'll score every time. So he's just inevitable, isn't he? But do you not agree? This is not a dig at all.
No.
But when you're watching the whole game, do you notice him that much?
No.
And do you feel Kirkus was caused loads of problems? I didn't.
No.
But that's why he's quality. That's why he's world class because. You say it quite a lot when a team's all over another team and then the goalkeeper makes a really big save. You go, that's why you're a top keeper.
Yeah.
And it's the same with Salah. He wasn't really in the game. And then when they need a second goal, bang, Just different class, mate. It was an unbelievable finish from him, and he's a difference maker, and that's why they need to tie him down, mate. Richard Hughes needs to tie him down.
Yeah, he's getting a bit of stick on social media. I thought it was all happy, and I thought it was all roses and flowers up at Anfield in terms of supporters' views. And look, obviously they're happy with what's going on the pitch, but I alluded to this on the vlog. Like in terms of tying down the main people that they need to, it's not happening yet, and they cannot afford to lose. Like Virgil and Mo as well, but we'll see what transpires there as we look at the average positions, by the way, which shows you that it was fairly even for for both sides. They were very closely matched, and it was a really absorbing battle. I thought the Liverpool were quality on the ball. Their midfield three were superb. Gravenberch and Milos's mate Szoboszlai was also excellent as well.
First time I thought midfield three has matched us for intensity at times. I thought they were really good. I thought we tried a few different bits like we always do, even though we're on a really good run. I thought Dango was allowing Kluivert to get beyond him at times and was working hard. And Dango, I've given him a lot of stick in the past. I get a lot of stick for them not saying how well he is. I've said it definitely now, but just to reiterate, the way he led the line against, in my opinion, the best centre half partnership probably in Europe. Was really impressive. He's not a striker. He didn't have loads of chances, but he managed to rough them up a bit, and they are the bet. I mean, the key one was when he knocked it past Van Dijk and he got Van Dijk booked. I mean, Van Dijk don't get knocked past like that. I think credit to Dango because he's working his socks off, and then he went to a wide position and looked good as well. So he's taken a lot of the burden off Andoni in terms of we ain't got a bloody striker. And so fair play to him for that. I thought he was very good again. I mean, we'll talk about it, but I'm interested to see your opinion because I didn't feel like anyone was obviously man of the match, but I don't think anyone was bad. I think Dango was probably in the running.
Well, let's have a look then.
Cookie's always going to do bad.
6.3.
Yeah, okay.
But Mo Salah, of course, for Liverpool, absolutely stood out. I think our best rated player was Anton Semenyo.
Yeah, because of the chances he created and stuff, I guess.
And, Kepa was up there as well for making a couple of key saves as well. I mean, were Liverpool the best team to have visited Dean Court this season, do you think? I think for me, they probably were.
Yeah, I mean, but we haven't lost many.
They didn't have the dominance of, say, Man City in their prime when they've come to Dean Court.
No,
but then that's a different team, a Bournemouth team that faced them.
I agree. Yeah, I think that's more credit to us, to be honest. And I think Liverpool rightly respected us. They looked at us and went, let's try and get the goal. And then they didn't need to go. They didn't want to get caught. If Liverpool kept going full throttle, they would. It'd be silly, really. They had a goal lead. I thought from our perspective, everyone was pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, when I did ratings and stuff, I kind of thought we kind of got to go down on Cook because he gave away that penalty, but it's very harsh. Because
he struggled, I think, for the first time in that right back position. I just don't. I mean, I thought he had a good game, but not.
Got caught a little bit.
Obviously, it was always going to be a test against Cody Gakpo, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think just thinking then, I'm thinking, maybe it's a game to give someone who I think was man of the match, that maybe doesn't get the credit all the time. I'm going to go with Tyler Adams.
Tyler Adams, I thought,
he was pretty exemplary in there. But I didn't think there was any bad performances. And as you say, I thought, Tav come on, done well. Jabbo put himself about without doing too much. And that's just the frustration at the moment, is then we didn't make any more subs because we ain't got any. Yeah. So, that is a frustration. 9
away wins for Liverpool, still unbeaten away as we take a look at the match stats, which shows that possession-wise, Liverpool only just shaded it. However, for big chances, look at us there with 3. Liverpool had 4.
Just going to confirm when I tell him that Ben, my brother, is ringing, and when I tell you that I couldn't answer because I was recording, I'm not lying, all right?
Yeah, bruv, all right? Just deal with it. So look, this is... the FA Cup's around the corner. We've got transfer deadline day at the point of returning still happening right now. As it seems, there's no one coming through the door just yet, which...
There better be.
Does it surprise me? I don't know. I think Andoni, the way he's managed to get these players playing, I think has been great for us. But for transfer deadline day, for his own transfer wishes, probably not so much, because maybe they think that we can cope okay. Maybe this suggests that there are players that are coming back sooner rather than later. However, it does concern me a little bit. I mean, we're all thinking this is probably the season to push for Europe.
Yeah,
should we be underlining that intention by getting someone in, even on loan?
Like I say, this hopefully will age badly, and we will do something out of nowhere at the time of recording. It doesn't look likely, which does baffle me a little bit, mate. Yeah. I think recruitment side of things we've been praising for. I think incredible. Yeah. You've just seen that Lloyd Kelly's going to Juventus for 20 million. By the way, we got Howson for bloody nearly half price. Unbelievable, but I can't get my head around it. We're on the cusp of doing something special. Not on the cusp, but we're in a chance to. We've never been in this position before at this stage of the season. We've got an injury crisis. We haven't got a striker,
and the players that we have got are playing intensely, and they're going to get burnt out.
Yeah,
it wouldn't surprise me if
got a couple more niggles.
Yeah, exactly. And if that happens, then we're struggling, and then they'll look back and think maybe we should have done something. I don't know. It must mean. I mean, I'm sure they've been trying. I'm sure they have.
Of course,
it must mean that there must be players close. I mean, I know the Sinistera's not far away.
Yeah, I'm sure players are close. At the moment we're playing someone out of position. Well, playing a few players out of position because remember Lewis Cook's still playing at right back. But in terms of centre forward, we've obviously Dango's doing a really good job up there. But we've got a player that wasn't deemed good enough for Watford, and a player that scored 1 goal for Carlisle as our only available strikers. And I'm looking at. I said this to you off. I'm looking at championship teams getting strikers in on loan. I think they would be better for us on the bench as an option. I can't really get my head around it. And like I say, what adds to that is, well, if we're that thin, but we've let 3 senior players go out on loan and not bought in any senior players, that makes no sense to me. Because I thought, okay, we're letting Bill in. Trevor's a bit different, he's goalkeeper, granted. But we've let Bill in and Aarons go out on loan. Aarons is a right back, by the way, we ain't got one. And let Bill in go out on loan. So I just thought, well, maybe that's to get their wages off to then use them wages for a loan. That's what I assumed. Yeah. If we don't bring anyone in, then that just baffles me that we've let 2 players go that could have helped.
We've been linked with a lad from Lorient, haven't we?
Yeah, but then they're talking about us giving him back to them on loan.
So it's pointless.
Well, it's not pointless if you believe in the player going forward. Yeah, of course, but it's pointless for what we need now. Yeah. We need something. So even Andoni alluded to that. He said the other day, like, we believe in the strikers we've got here. Unfortunately, they're injured, so it's probably looking like a loan because we need a short-term fix. But yeah, it's just very, very strange, and it's like people go, okay, well, maybe Billing was desperate for first-team football. They've had 3 or 4 games since he's gone there. He ain't had a minute at Napoli. He ain't come on again.
Yeah, I scored like 4 or 5 goals in my 6th side in Broadstone last night.
Good.
I'm available if you want me. But Tom, it doesn't matter.
Why?
You know why it doesn't matter? Because we are in the top 20 teams in world football, according to the Opta table. Have you seen this table at the moment?
What's that based on?
It's based on Opta's rankings and all this kind of stuff.
The Forest fans going to be fuming then, aren't it?
Yeah, Forest are 23rd or 24th or something.
Okay.
Bournemouth are 19th, mate. And look at these names. Look at these names.
That's amazing, isn't it?
I mean, that's where we are at the moment. But look, we need to talk about the games that we've got coming up, mate. And on paper, and I know you hate this,
Here we go again.
Some favourable fixtures in the league. But Southampton away, you just know that's not going to be easy, is it?
No, it will be too good for them.
Do you reckon?
I do believe that. But again, I feel like I broke a record at times. But yeah, we just played, we played Chelsea, Forest and Newcastle and managed to win 2 of them and nearly win the other. But then when we went to Leicester, we lost. I don't really think it's that relevant. I do think that, Newcastle on fire and then they lose to Fulham and Bournemouth. I think what's helpful is it'll also happen to us, but I think the fact that a team like Newcastle, you're playing Fulham are a good side, and as we saw, and Wolves now that they've changed manager because they didn't have a very good one, now they've got a decent manager. They're playing Villa, win that comfortably. I mean Villa are weird after Europe for some reason. They can't seem to cope with that at the moment, but it's showing that games like that, because I remember actually thinking when Villa were going to Wolves in the late kickoff, I thought Wolves could get something there, and Wolves are well down there to Villa, so this is going to to and fro all season, which is why it's so impressive what Forest are doing, having a cushion, because I think it's going to change. I think we'll drop down to 10th at some point, then we'll go up to 4th, and it'll all be all over the place.
So, how important to you now, based on the injury crisis that we've got, how important to you now is the FA Cup match against Everton?
It's not because I think we've got a chance of doing something.
They're on a roll now as well.
Yeah, they're doing all right. We've got a chance to do something special in the league, and unfortunately, like I just alluded to, we haven't got the squad because we've obviously deemed that we don't need to sign many players with the injury crisis to to have loads of fixtures. We can't afford it.
No.
We need to rotate, but we can't rotate.
So we
can't rotate because he's either playing his first team or he's basically playing kids.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We haven't got any fringe players.
We haven't got fringe players because we've let most of them out on loan.
And that would be maybe what. But then he likes to treat cup seriously. But then if you do that and then you get someone injured again, that would be terrible.
I'm sure that's what he'll be thinking as well, Anthony. But he hasn't really got any choice. So I do think because we haven't got a choice, we'll go pretty strong. That he might try a few things. So we alluded to there with Christie's booking situation. I wonder if he'll come out, maybe put Cook in midfield and put a youngster at right back, something like that. Tav might get a go from the off. Jefferson might get a run out. Who knows? But we've let Travers go, so I'm sure Kepp will be in goal. We haven't got any other senior centre half, so they'll play again. They played against West Brom.
Yeah,
we haven't got Salah to play left back, so Kirk has to play again. So I still think we're strong, and I actually think, don't get me wrong, they're going to be a different animal with David Moyes and the way Everton are playing. But I think because we'll go strong, I think we'll have too much for Everton. I still think we'll hurt them, and I think we'll go through. And then it will be whatever the next. It'll be Liverpool away or something. But if we get a nice draw, then you take the cup. It's difficult with the cup. I think Southampton, good win for them, and it's never going to be easy because whatever they say, it's always louder when they play Bournemouth. They always seemingly get up for it. But again, if you try and take that aside, we're a better team, and I think we'll beat them.
Wolves
is a difficult game, but at home I fancy us. And then Brighton, I think, is really, really tricky on a Tuesday night. But it's not a bad run. I think Tottenham will be a really intriguing game because that'll be really open again. Brentford at home, it's just, they're nice fixtures, mate. But equally, not long ago, we're going, oh, look at their fixtures, and we barely lost any. So, let's see what happens. But I think we play like we did against Liverpool, against most teams in this league, we'll be all right.
Did you see the Men in Blazers chats with Bill Foley and Roger Bennett?
Yeah, I did.
Stadium talk.
Yeah, I don't really understand what's going on.
It sort of looks like there's more chatter now about redeveloping what we've got rather than a brand new build. I think they're almost putting it in our mind so that we're not disappointed when it's officially announced. Maybe that seems to be what's the case. Bill Foley's talking about digging down, which I don't think.
Where are they going to play?
Well,
surely that couldn't get done in the summer.
No, it couldn't. That would take. I mean, when Chelsea were talking about that, they would have had to gone to Wembley for a year, and they were talking about digging down at Stamford Bridge. So that would be a year at our nearest ground that's appropriate for that standard of football, St Mary's.
To be fair, it'd be nice for St Mary's to still have Premier League football. And they like us, and they've helped us out before, so they'll just help us out again, won't they?
We certainly wouldn't be able to do Dorchester. That's
why?
Put it that way.
That'd be great for Premier League. Dorchester, the Prem.
The media facilities, all lack of there.
Love it.
Jim would go nuts about having no hospitality there.
That's very true.
You'd have to send everyone to Tesco, get a meal deal. Is that what they would
We're
want?
We're joking, Jim, all right? But no, I think, it'd be really interesting. Like I say, I'm trying to kind of take all that chat with a pinch of salt until there's...
Yeah, I mean...
There's a lot of murmurings. I don't know enough. So.
No, well, nor do I. I mean, I know the North Stand and the East Stand are obviously too close to the housing, so I don't think you can build up there, but you can on the South Stand, so you can build a more permanent facility that could be, twice the height of what it is now, and I think the main stand could be added to and have to be remodelled. I don't know what they're planning on doing, but...
Is there a way that you can,
don't know.
If you're doing stuff on the ground, that... Like I say, obviously you do as much as you can in the summer, and then you apply to have like the first few games away, or like last few.
That's what Luton Town did, didn't
they? So I don't know if there's a way around it, maybe, but they would have done all their due diligence and stuff like that beforehand. So got faith in whatever they want to do, mate. But just wait and see.
Intrigued to know. Yeah, intrigued to know what happens with that. But we will see. But either way, look, it was a loss that we probably expected. We were competitive as we needed to be and wanted to be, which is good.
There's an outgoing, by the way.
There's an outgoing. Who?
Daniel Aduajay, interest from League Two. He might go on loan, so who needs a striker?
Yeah, who needs a striker? Great. Looking forward to seeing more lack of strikers. That's unreal. But so look, we are still in a good position, and it's quite nice that we're talking about something other than us being bad or whatever, or you know what I mean?
Doesn't happen anymore, mate.
It doesn't happen under Undated.
Oh, mate, we can't. We've literally got, how many games did we go without defeat? It was 10, 11 or whatever.
12 on that.
Mental. And we've just narrowly lost to the team that are going to win. And Liverpool fans are probably going to stop jinxing it, but I don't see how they don't win the league.
Yeah, they're going to win the league.
What are they, 6?
They're going to win it all. They're going to win it all.
6 with a game in hand. Yeah, they've won the league. And I also ain't going to get as many points. Yeah, they've won the league. And then they'll be one of the favourites in the Champions League, I'd say. But we were, as I said, we were talking to the Liverpool fans beforehand, and we asked them that, and they all, which didn't surprise me, they said they'd much rather the Prem than the Champions League because they got that taken from them because of COVID. Whereas they've seen the Champions League. It's not a bad little dilemma to have, is it? And they're still in the other cups. That'd be a good one in the week as well to see if they can overturn Tottenham. So they've got a chance. I kind of want them to because I want Tottenham to win a cup. Tottenham win a cup. Sorry, getting silly.
However you've been consuming this, we want to say thank you. If you're listening on a podcast app, there's a little review rating thing. Give us 5 stars, and you can do us a couple of favours on YouTube as well.
Yeah, click the like button because we've tried to be nice, even though we hate the ref. Click the subscribe button. That's the most important one. And then if you click the bell, you can see when all the videos are out.
So England witnessed a team that are probably going to be winning the league, and Darren England was the one that helped that happen. Up the Cherries.
Up the Cherries. God, I hate talking about refs.